What up, my YouTube peeps and peepettes? It's your boy Trevor coming back at you. I know it's been for fucking ever since I've made a video, but that's mainly because, well, first things first, I wound up leaving off CRST. It's not on them, it's more on me. I just kind of felt I needed a break from it. So I went and put in my time with them and got out. I got out a long time ago, back early in February. Went home, celebrated my birthday, and got to go to a concert for that, which was kind of nice. But other than that, it's been a whole lot of nothing really, just being a lazy ass. But eventually, like all good things, money and funds and all that other good stuff runs out, and I'm running a little dry. So I am now up here in Joplin, Missouri. I'm going to work for one of CRST's. Any of the guys, ladies and gents that are working for CRST now will know one of CRST's biggest, what's the word I'm looking for here? Biggest customers, that's the word I'm looking for. Biggest customers, I'm up here at fucking Conway. Yeah. Here in Joplin. Going through orientation, been going through since Tuesday. Got up here early on Monday, not super early, around noonish, really. They didn't have orientation on Monday because that was Memorial Day, duh. So, started up on Tuesday, just did a bunch of paperwork, went and peed in a cup. They shaved some hairs off of me. I'm not gonna say where, not my head. I shaved that before I came, and not my face. So, y'all make the exceptions for yourself. But, and did my physical because my med card was going to be expiring here in late July. And, yeah, and yesterday, or, was it? Yeah, I guess today's Thursday, ain't it? Wednesday did their backing test, piece of cake. Road test, piece of cake. It was a little odd because Conway runs 13 speeds and automatics. So I had a 13 speed, which I try to drive like a 10 speed. Don't do that. They don't drive the same. And then I had an automatic for the backing test, which I'm still not sold on the automatics yet. I don't know yet. Hopefully I won't be getting an automatic whenever I first go out on the road, but it's whatever. They're paying me pretty well, and the benefits are substantial. But for those of y'all that are, still watching me and trying to look for a change, or, coming up on the end of y'all's contract with CRST, I would say stick with CRST. Of course, I'm going to try to say good things about them. They were good. They're not the best company. Everybody knows that. And they're really not even a super good company. But they are getting much better. Towards the end of my time there, I got as many of y'all know, I got put on a dedicated loop. And I was breaking in some money. Why I left? Because I'm an idiot. But I was bringing home $1,200 a week. Bring home after taxes and everything. Bringing home $1,200 a week, and I left it because I'm an idiot. But here with Conway, they're starting me out already higher than I was whenever I left CRST. So if I can rack up as many miles as I did with CRST, which shouldn't be a big issue. It's freaking Conway, and I should be in good hands. A couple of other things I like. I'm not going to try to, dog on CRST or anything, because that'd be stupid. Like I said, they're a good starting out company. Yes, there are others that are better. Just do your research. know what you want. But a couple things that I like with Conway is that, I mean, as y'all can tell, I'm in a hotel room, the La Quinta. Awesome hotel. I love it. It's got everything. And it's got a freaking awesome little food area downstairs that's relatively cheap. I mean, first day I came here, I got like an 8-ounce steak, potatoes, and Caesar salad for like $13. Which you go to a steakhouse, it's going to be upwards of 15, 17, depending on where you go, of course. But I mean, it's all reasonably priced. They have multiple beers on tap, which that's one thing about Conway. As long as you're not driving a truck the next day, kind of, I guess I should say, the next day, they don't care. I mean, just be responsible. Don't be a dumbass, pretty much. But the people that I'm in orientation with, heck, we've sat with Conway employees that, we sat and had a beer with them. So, I mean, just be smart. Don't overdo it. I mean, some people like us, they have a special going on right now. So I'll usually have 2 small ones. And, I mean, that doesn't, I mean, I'm a pretty big guy. If any of y'all have met me, I mean, I'm 6'2", 240. And, I mean, 2 beers, will it affect me? Not terribly. Would I still drive a personal vehicle after 2 small ones? Probably. Would I still drive a commercial vehicle? Hell no. Wouldn't even take a chance with it. I ain't that stupid. I'm stupid enough to get behind the wheel of a small car, but I'm not going to risk my career for something like that. Excuse me. But, what was I talking about? But yeah, they do treat you very, very well here. The La Quinta has continental breakfast, and I rack up on that. They do feed you lunch. The only meal that you're really responsible for is dinner, and there's a Sonic right across the street. I mean, you got the food place on the first floor. There's a McDonald's right down the road. I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff for you. There's a Ruby Tuesday catty corner to us. I mean, there's food stuff everywhere. It just depends on, how much money you got with you, which I'm kind of running a little low, but I'll be all right. But the orientation as a whole is actually not terrible. I mean, it's not super boring. I mean, it's just an orientation. What do you expect? It's going to have boring days. Like today, we got killed by PowerPoints, but they really weren't that dumb. I mean, a lot of the stuff I already knew, but some things actually about the Conway's Qualcomm system, it's the same as CRST has, but there are some subtle changes that I learned from today, and it was quite interesting actually. I mean, I'm like a sponge right now. I want to learn as much of this as I can. What else here? Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be getting my ID and get me my hats. Yeah, they do give you hats. They're honestly, the one hat that I'm getting because I served, they love their military people. So vets, if you have experience, they love their vets here. So I get a vet hat, and I get a basic Conway hat, which honestly isn't even as good as CRST's, which I was like, ooh, because it's just a little basic screen printed on the front Conway hat, which, bleh. But there's always room for upgrade. One other thing that I actually will dog Conway on is that I don't like their fuel system. They run the same comm data system as CRST does, but they run all pilots and all flying J's. Like, I picked up the fuel directory. It's all pilots and all flying J's. I went through like 3 pages. I saw 3 loves, like a handful of TAs and Petros each, like maybe 10 of each, but the rest, all flying J's and Petros. Or flying J's and pilots, sorry. Which I do like don't get me wrong, I do like flying J's and pilots, but if y'all follow me for a while, I prefer Loves. I love, no pun intended, love their point system. I mean, it's just awesome. But what can you do? I mean, they pay for it, so I can't complain. So simple as that. And one thing I do and don't like at the same time is that with CRST, they give you the fuels. If, like I said, most of y'all have been following me, they give you a fuel solution where they would like you to fuel, which that's kind of how I like to base my trip out with, like where I'm going to take my breaks and stuff. I usually try to take my 30-minute break when I'm getting fuel, so that way I can stay on the road and keep making money. But shoot, I don't even know what I was saying. But with, oh, excuse me, golly, about time to eat. Sorry. But with Conway, they don't give you a fuel solution. You follow that fuel directory. So in most cases, as long as you stop at a Flying J or a Pilot, you're usually pretty good, because that's who they've got their deal with, I guess. But I'm just not as big a fan of that. But it just comes down to more trip planning, doing extra trip planning. So I might have to get used to doing that again. And one thing that makes me happy, but also at the same time kind of pisses me off, is that all of Conway's trucks now apparently have XM radio, which renders my XM unit that I have useless, which kind of ticks me off because I brought that thing up here to put in my truck, and they tell me, "Oh, you already got XM. Don't even worry about it." So I'm just gonna call up XM and have them transfer all that over to my truck. But I have my CB, I have my my damn GPS. That's what it's called. And so I should be usually set to go. Hopefully I'll be picking my truck up tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna be getting. Probably a Kenworth. They've been running. That's what I mostly see at the yard here in Joplin is Kenworths, a couple of Freightliners, a handful of Internationals, a Pete or two here or there. I mean, but for the most part, it's actually been Kenworths. But I ain't gonna complain. Like I said, whatever I can get to make money. That's all I really care about. Well, I care about money, but I also care about safety and blah blah blah. I can rattle on and try to make it as professional sounding as possible, but really, it's mostly about the money. But what was I talking about? How? But yeah, that's really all I have. No real tips or anything like that, because there's no training here. They usually like you to get training. They usually don't even talk to people unless they have at least 3 months experience. So there's that. But yeah. So there's no training. It's just straight 4 days of orientation. Depending on how much experience you have, you may go out with what they call a finisher, what other people may know as a lead driver. I don't know how exactly long they take you out there. From what I've heard, it's anywhere from 14 to 28 days, depending on how much training you need. But yeah, that's all that. Luckily for me, I don't need a finisher. And actually, I guess we can do a comparison. I don't want to compare and contrast, because I don't want to make it sound like working for CRST is absolute ass. But I'll do a few small things that I'm definitely liking about Conway that CRST didn't do. I mean, they're just subtle things. Because with Conway, they do allow you to have pets on the truck. CRST, they do, but I think it's mostly for the owner ops that usually have the pets, like the team drivers. As far as I remember, I mean, it's been fucking forever, but as long as I can remember, as much as I can remember, as far back, whatever you wanted me to say, I don't remember them allowing pets on the trucks unless you're an owner op. But I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't, things could have changed. A couple of other things. Oh, one big thing that I love about Conway is that they have Easy Pass, Pike Pass, and Scale Pass. Well, the Easy Pass and the Scale Pass I think are in the same unit, but you can bypass scales. You don't have to go into every scale unless you're hazmated. Pike Pass, you don't have to pay those freaking tolls like you will with CRST, even though they do reimburse you. And if same situation, if you have to pay cash for a toll, with Conway, they still reimburse you. One thing, I don't know if CRST has done this yet, but with the authorized ones, fuel stops that we have in our Conway book, you can use your Com data card for your scales. That was news to me, and there's actually one other guy in my orientation class who came from CRST as well. And that was news to us. We're like, wow, all right. And even if you do have to scale at one that's not authorized, they'll still reimburse you for it because they don't want to they know that you're not wanting to take a risk, which, don't be stupid. Scale the damn thing if you're unsure. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, yeah. Another thing I love about Conway is that for solo drivers anyway, like I'm going to be, they allow you a passenger on board. I was pleasantly surprised with that. Granted, I don't have anybody really that I know of to take with me, but they do allow you a passenger on board. All you got to do is call up I think it's your dispatcher, and let them know that you're going to be having a passenger. They'll send you a passenger pass, or or whatever, to let you know that there's a passenger on there. And same thing with the pets as well. The only bad thing about Conway is that they deduct like a penny a mile for, I think it's like 6 months if you have a pet on board, just because pets aren't exactly the cleanest animals sometimes, so they'll deduct a penny a mile on that. So, but after that 6 months, it goes right back up to how it was. And also with pets, you can't just turn the truck off and walk away like you can if you have like a co-driver or what have you. You can't just turn the truck off and let the truck get all hot, because then you're going to get cooked on the 6 o'clock news for leaving your truck in a hot car, or cat, what have you, whatever you have, hamster, fucking gerbil. Who cares? But that's the main reason why they also deduct a mile as well, or a penny per mile. What else did I like? I talked about the Easy Pass and the Pike Pass. Fuck. Well, I guess that's one thing as well, is that I'll be running solo. I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted today, but I'll be running solo for the first time in God knows how long, well over a year. Actually, it's been almost 2 years now. But that's gonna be interesting. Golly, I swear I haven't eaten yet, but for some reason I'm really feeling bloated. But sorry about that. What else? And from the only thing that I don't know if I'm gonna like or not, is that it's not 100% drop and hook, or not even, I don't even know how much drop and hook they do, but sometimes you will have to get out and probably touch the freight. So that's kind of a negative thing, but it's minor. I mean, it's not like you're having to get out and unload everything pallet by pallet and, all that. You may have to get out and count it and touch it, but that's minor. I mean, it's nothing crazy. One thing, I guess, the trucks are still governed at 65, so no major change there. So that's a good thing. I'm not quite sure exactly where I'll be running. From what I've been told, or what I'm led to believe, is that I'll be running mostly in the Midwest and Southeast. So hopefully no California. Hopefully no California. Please no California. Sorry, Californians, for those of you that watch the watch my channel. I love California. Don't get me wrong; it's a beautiful freaking state. I mean, it's great. But golly, that 55-mile-an-hour speed limit is just murder, murder. And also, the lovely. I bought me a piece of Mount Shasta, back a long time ago. Um, but I mean, 65-mile-an-hour truck. That's what I'm used to. So no major changes there. And I'll still be pulling 53-foot trailers. I'm not LTL. Usually the LTLs are the ones that pull the doubles and the triples and what have you. But I do plan on getting my hazmat because that's more money in my pocket and all that. So, yeah. Trying to think of anything else I need to touch on. Nothing that I really can think of. But as always, if y'all have any other questions for me or something that you would like to know that I didn't quite touch on, leave them in the comments section down below. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. Now that I'm back, I'll be able to answer a few more than just kind of sliding by. But now that I'm back on the road, I'll be able to answer a few more questions that y'all may have. I may even do, if I get a ton in, say, a week's time or whatever, I may do a Q&A, and once I get stopped for the night or something, and answer y'all's questions for you. If y'all like the video, give it a thumbs up. Dislike the video, give it a thumbs down if you think I'm ugly as hell or whatever. If you like my insight or, like that I try to answer as many of y'all's questions or whatever as need be. And as I said before, now that I'm back, I'll try to be uploading a little bit more. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Really helps me out a little bit. But as far as I know, that's all I got for y'all. So I guess I'll leave y'all as I have before. It's your boy Trevor, signing out. Peace, y'all.